Have you ever had a seller, a lead, or a prospect look at you and say, "How long have you been in the business?" Or "How many homes have you sold in my neighborhood?" If you are a new real estate agent, today we are going to talk about new real estate agent objections and how you can overcome them. Stick around. Hi there, welcome back to Rev Real Estate School. My name is Michael Montgomery. Today we are talking all about new real estate agent objections. These are common. If you are a new agent, somebody will eventually say, "How long have you been in the industry?" And that is totally fine. We can use this to our advantage as new real estate agents. Today we're going to talk about a few quick tips on what you can say and how you can use this to your advantage. First off, I get it. I totally understand. When I first had my first buyer, she knew more of the communities in my city than I did. And when you're sitting down with a seller, they might have bought and sold a few homes before. They might know the process better than you do. That's okay. Don't come down on yourself for that. We start somewhere, but we have to come back to the fact that we are the right person for the job. This comes down to belief. We need to believe in ourselves. Even if we don't believe in ourselves at fully and 110%, we need to at least be coming back to that thought that we are the person for this job. So the first tip we're going to jump into here is if somebody asks you and they say, "How long have you been in the industry?" Always be honest. But if you say, "Look, it's been 2 weeks," or "It's been 2 months," there's a better way of saying that. And that's simply saying, "I'm in my first year. I'm excited about it, I'm loving it, and I'm doing great." So what you're doing here is you're taking the attention off of how long you've been in the industry. Somebody asks you how long, you say you're in your first year versus saying 2 weeks or 2 months. It just sounds so much better when you say you're in your first year. And then you're taking the pressure off of that question and saying, "I'm loving it and I'm doing great." You're showing enthusiasm, you're showing a level of success, and that is coming across to the buyer or the seller. So there's your first tip. When somebody asks how long you've been in the industry, you say, "I'm in my first year, loving it and doing awesome." Next, honesty. So important. If you're new in the industry, don't pretend like you've been in for 5 years if you've been in for 1. If you haven't sold any homes in that community, don't say you've sold a lot of homes in that community, but be aware of the language that you're using, right? So if you are sitting down for your first listing presentation, but you've been out with buyers and they say, "Well, how many homes have you sold?" You can say, "You know what? I've yet to sell my first home, but I am out with buyers all the time. We're looking at properties. I'm doing great. I'm excited." So you see what we're doing there is we're coming back to the fact that we're excited and we're doing great. We want people to always understand that. And we're not lying though, and we're not saying, "Yeah, you know what, I've sold a number of homes in your community," when you haven't. You're always coming from a place of honesty. This is one of the most important things in being in this industry. Next, you're a new agent, turn that into a huge positive. If you're sitting down in the listing presentation, you're competing with an experienced agent, chances are, yes, that experienced agent may have sold more homes than you, but they're probably strapped for time. Use being new as an advantage and say, "Look, I'm new. I can focus 110% on your listing. I can give it absolutely everything and I can work my butt off for you. If you give me a chance to do this, you will not be let down. I am your guy." Letting people understand that you can really focus on them is a huge benefit. And as a new real estate agent, sometimes we've heard this one before, right? We've heard that, yes, of course we should focus on the fact that we have the time, but it's harder to say than we actually think when we're sitting down across from that seller. So come back to the belief and say that there's a lot of power in focusing on that listing. If you're dealing with a busy agent that's holding 50 listings, chances are that one listing isn't going to get a ton of time. Next, confidence and enthusiasm. These two work perfectly together. If you want to appear more confident, then just increase your energy levels. Be more enthusiastic. This comes across as a very confident way of doing business. If you're sitting across from a seller, have your energy levels go up. This really comes across as confident. And even if you don't feel confident, because to be honest, you're probably not going to feel too confident at your first listing presentation, fake it. Totally fake it. And then with time, it will come. And that moves in to the next tip, which is market knowledge. This also builds your confidence. If you have a strong understanding of what's happening in a community, even if you haven't sold a house, with knowledge comes confidence. Know the community. If you're sitting down with a seller, one of the best things you can do is preview some of the active comparables. That way, when you're sitting down with the seller and the seller says, well, what about this one? You can say, you know what? I went through that home yesterday and I think you have more value because of this, that, or the other reason. They're gonna be blown away that you've actually been out and previewed these properties. You've seen them. You're taking your job so seriously and you understand the market so well that you're going out taking time out of your day to know exactly what's happening. Also, pull information from years previous. Not that you have to use that in your comparable report, but know what's sold on their street in the last 2 years. Know if they have a neighbor that sold 3 years ago, know that. And even though it might not be comparable, it's still good knowledge to have. Next is lean on your office or a more senior agent. Have your mentor or lean on your office and say, or a team or something like that, and say, look, you know what, I might be in my first year, I'm loving it, I have tons of energy, it's going great, but I also have a mentor, I have a senior agent, I have a broker, I have a team that I can lean on here. So they're gonna be helping out with this process. I'm your guy, I'm gonna sell this place for you, but they are here to also help guide us through this together. So what you've done here is you've given them two huge benefits. You've given them the benefit of your time and your energy, and you've also given them the benefit of the more senior agent that will also be looking through everything. This is a huge benefit. So lean on your office, lean on the more senior agents within your office, form relationships with them. They'll be more than happy to help you out with this. Next, understand the power of working your butt off and what that means to a seller. By you saying that to them, or a buyer for that matter, by you saying that to them and then also showing it in your energy and then in your follow-up, they will be very, very impressed. They want you to work hard. It's no surprise that in the real estate industry, it doesn't have the best reputation, right? The image of the real estate agent is sign goes up and then peace out, gone. So don't be that agent, and let them know right off the bat that you are going to work like crazy and then follow it up with actually doing that. That will be hugely beneficial. Plus, they will very likely refer you if they see that you're going over and above. Finally, use the words, I do things differently. The real estate industry, again, it's kind of known as being somewhat antiquated. Even with technology coming in, we're still thought of, okay, we're just out there and we put that sign up. Let the seller know that you do things differently, and then have 2 or 3 things that you might do differently. This doesn't have to be wildly different. It can be that you take extremely good care of your clients. It can be that you use social media very, very well. It can be that you have amazing print marketing, whatever that might be. But let them know that you do things differently. This will cause them to pause a little bit and think, okay, we got a new real estate agent here, super energetic, confident, knows the market and markets things a little bit differently. Do I want to use that agent, or do I want to use the same agent that's doing the same things that they've been doing for the last 20 years? Even though you won't get every listing, this will definitely improve your chances at landing it. You are differentiating yourself with your energy, your market knowledge, with your work ethic, and then also with doing things differently. Thank you very much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below, do you have any tips or any sort of objections that you have had to deal with as a new real estate agent? In the description below, you can download the freebie, all of these objections plus more. Thank you very much for watching this video. If it's bringing you value, please consider subscribing. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next lesson.